Hello and welcome. My name is Shannon Bergstresser. I am the Events and Marketing Coordinator with Apex Alberta, and I will be your facilitator for today's event. We welcome you to the Going Digital Workshop Series in partnership with Apex Alberta, Community Futures Chinook, and Community Futures Entrecourt Business Development. We bring you today the second of our four-part series. We hope you did not have any problems logging in and registering yourself on Remo. Apex Alberta and Community Futures would like to acknowledge the many First Nations and Métis and Inuit in and cared for these lands for many generations. We are grateful for the traditional knowledge keepers and elders who are still with us today and those who have gone before us. We acknowledge and honor that we are situated on traditional lands of Treaty 7 and Treaty 4 territories, traditional lands of the Siksika, Blackfoot Tribe, Kainai, the Blood Tribe, Piikani, Pagan Tribe, Stoney, Nakota, Tsuut'ina, Sarsi, as well as the Cree, Sioux, and the Saulteaux bands of the Ojibwa people. We also honor and acknowledge that we are on the homelands of the Métis Nation of Alberta within Region 3 territories. Community Futures is a nonprofit organization that is dedicated to building an economically diverse future for the communities of our beautiful region. Whether you need assistance developing your business strategy, ongoing training to accelerate your growth, or financing up to $150,000, we are here to offer expert guidance and cheer you on every step of the way. Apex Alberta is a regional innovation network that supports the growth of innovative and technology-oriented businesses in Southeast Alberta. Apex is a collaborative initiative between three core service providers: Community Futures Entrecourt Business Development, Medicine Hat College, and Alberta Innovates. To learn more on these supports, please visit apexalberta.ca. Please note, we are recording this session. You may ask general questions in the chat box to your right and questions for the speakers in the Q&A. We have some awesome speakers today, so let's get started. Ryan Corry is our first speaker today. He's the founder of Local Shops and says this great idea came from seeing how the pandemic impacted so many small local businesses. His experience selling online as a Shopify merchant and Amazon seller made him rethink how local shoppers are finding him and how one should connect to them. He did not want to sit back and watch e-commerce sales surge and local businesses struggle. Consumer spending was leaving the economy and he wanted to help. Local Shops is the solution to bring consumer spending back to the area of businesses and create a competitive advantage against retail giants. Today, Ryan Corry will be speaking on expanding your digital footprint. Our second speaker today are Kelli Ireland and Jalyce Thompson from ShopYXH. ShopYXH started as a space for local Medicine Hat shops to come together and share their passions and products with the greater community. Also to support the spirit of YXH businesses and entrepreneurs. Today, ShopYXH is a local Medicine Hat, Brooks, and Southeast Alberta marketplace that strives to provide an authentic human connection at the heart of digital shopping experience. Kelli Ireland and Jalyce Thompson are here today to present on the changes and impact ShopYXH has had. Please help me first to welcome Ryan Corry to our virtual stage.
All right. Thank you so much for the introduction, and I'm really excited to see everyone on the call today and share some of my skills and present what I've been able to learn over the last 6 years selling online through Shopify, as well as on Amazon, leveraging digital marketing techniques and all the things to make my website as visible as possible on search engines, social media, advertising, as well as leveraging the various marketplaces out there to provide different opportunities for sales through my business. So thanks for everybody joining on the call today. And I've assembled a little bit of a presentation, and we'll go from there. So I'll just share my screen. not the screen I want to share. All right, we'll eventually get there. Awesome. All right, so as mentioned earlier, I'm the founder of Local Shop. So this is a platform that allows consumers to discover local brands and shops in their area. So we wanted to create this platform because in the online community, you're having to compete with pretty much every other brand and shop in the world. I mean, anybody can be found through Google search and other search engines. The level of competition is significantly greater. Plus, there's a lot of barriers to small business that they have to compete against. You know, one is the advertising spend that large companies have, and just the resources that those companies have access to make sure that their platforms are generating better visibility when a consumer goes to one of these search engines. So that's the basis behind Local Shops. And what's unique to our platform is we've created sales channels that allow communities, nonprofits, smaller markets as well to leverage our technology to promote the businesses that they support. And in this case, one of our partners is Medicine Hat through ShopYXH, and they're leveraging our technology to create an aggregated solution for all the small businesses in the Medicine Hat community. Okay, so yeah, just a little background on my skills. So a lot of startup experience, most recently with Local Shops in the tech space and e-commerce. I founded an independent brand called Uni Chillwear that's been on Shopify now for 6 years. Prior to this, I launched a technology startup called SkillPix, which was a freelance marketplace for students to connect to startups. And my first ever business venture was a nonprofit event production group where we helped people fundraise for direct causes such as cancer treatments. Over the years, I've also done some angel investing, most recently in a wearable technology company called Nextiles. Prior to that was a music discovery platform called Hub Music. And my professional experience serves in Kiwi Tech, where I'm entrepreneur in residence as well as regional director for Canada. They're a product incubator for technology startups. I've also worked in experiential marketing with a company out of Montreal called Promo Staff. And prior to that, I was a project specialist at Alberta Ballet and an event manager at Bus Loose. Before all the work experience, I played minor professional hockey in Florida and Europe, and also taught lots of youngsters in hockey as well. So getting to the meat of the discussion today. So it's all about your digital footprint. And there's three kind of primary areas for your digital footprint. The first is SEO, so search engine optimization. The next is backlinking, so leveraging sites and building trust through search engine algorithms. And then the final piece is SERP, which is your search engine results page, how you're showing up on the various pages of, say, Google or any other search page, and how you're being indexed, how your content is being indexed for those pages. So we're just going to run through, what are all of these things? So SEO, as I mentioned, it's search engine optimization. So this is the process of improving the quality and quantity of website traffic. And it targets unpaid traffic rather than direct or paid traffic, which is what you would see through Google AdWords. Whenever you search something, you see those promoted or sponsored websites at the very top. So that is different from SEO. That is called SEM, search engine marketing. So a website will receive more visitors from a search when they're ranked higher on the search engine results page. Obviously, we know not many people are going beyond page 2 or 3 to find their results. So it's really important that you're doing the best to optimize your website to show up on page 1 or page 2. And all this is considered in the search engine's computer algorithm. And algorithms are really the set of instructions that are produced for the computer to, find a specific result. So this is what people search for, and these are the actual search terms or keywords. And why this is important to learn about and implement on your own website. For one, it's going to help your visibility online. But two, in any other platform you use, this is also important. I mean, even for local shops, we are essentially a search engine as well, and we base our search criteria off of keywords, off of the content in your product description, off of your product title. So there's multiple parameters that play in that will give a consumer the results that they're looking for. So it is good to have this best practice. Some of the best practices to be able to optimize your SEO are cross-linking between pages of the same website to provide more links. So that's on your own website, talking about products within your site and then linking to those pages within your own website. When a search engine does crawling and scrolls through different sites to assess how they should show up, linking is very important. The primary importance is through backlinking, and I'll get to that just a little further down. But one way you can, create more links is just even on your own web page to these other pages on your site. Content that includes frequently searched keywords and phrases. So, for example, you know your business better than anybody else, and you want to really put yourself in the consumer's shoes. What would they be thinking about in the simplest terms when typing in something for a search, right? These are the types of keywords you want to make sure that you're using quite frequently in your product pages, in your blog, on your about page, because when Google deploys their algorithm and crawls and indexes your page, they're pulling all of that data to make sure it's relevant and to rank you for searches. The other important thing is to keep updating your content, because all these crawling tools, they will actually cache your content, which means they store it so they don't have to keep going back. But if you're constantly updating your content, then they have to go back more frequently, and it's going to help with your visibility in online searches. Relevant keywords, mentioned that just above, how important it is, but this goes as deep as your metadata. So your title tags and your meta description on even the images you're putting into your platform. This is all very easily like Shopify, Wix, or WooCommerce. Typically, they'll ask for you to provide this detail when you're creating a new product listing. And uploaded a new image, they'll ask for the tags to go along with that image, or the meta description as well, to help out with SEO. And then final thing is redirects to increase your popularity score and impact the credibility of your website. So this kind of ties in with my first point of cross-linking. So redirects are anytime you're linked, your website is linked from another website, like a blog, like a news station, like ShopYXH, like local shops, right? This provides credibility to your own website, which builds trust with Google's algorithm, which is going to increase your score within that search engine and increase your chances of moving up in the pages. So this is really important. And that's why this top point of cross-linking is another way to create links, but just on your own website and link other pages, right? Because as your own website builds credibility, that's going to help with the popularity score of your other pages when you're cross-linking them on your own website as well. So did anyone have any specific questions about these points that I just ran through? Feel free to put them in the chat. I have the chat open as well on my screen, so I'm happy to address questions on the fly as well. But to summarize, SEO is all the written content on your website, plugging in keywords, putting in content that's relevant and it makes sense. You don't want to just, kind of sound like a crazy person writing randomly to make as many keywords as possible. You do want to tie it in an aesthetical and conversational way. But it's important to have that detail in there as much as possible. For SEO, all of your page URLs, make sure that they're relevant URLs. Shopify typically will auto-generate these, but you want your website URLs being your .com / scented candle, winter pine, right? You want to make sure that in the URL for specific products as well, that you have those typical keywords that a consumer may be searching. So, consumers can find the homepage, but typically they're redirected to specific pages within the website. So you want to make sure those are also optimized for search engines. Okay, so I mentioned backlinking in the previous slide as well. So this is going to give you a better idea of what I'm talking about. So backlinks, they're also known as inbound links, incoming links, or one-way links. Basically, when a website links your website and can direct traffic to your site from theirs. So one website to another. As I mentioned, Google and other major search engines consider these backlinks as votes. So the more votes you have, the more credibility you're going to build with these search engines, the better chances you're going to move up in the search rankings. Because the website points directly to that page on your website, that's why it's known as a backlink. And probably the best way to explain this is through these two graphs at the bottom. One is a soccer pitch, and this is one of the easiest examples I learned early on. But consider all of these dots as websites, and they're soccer players. Some of these websites are going to be better than other websites, just like some of the soccer players on the pitch are better than other soccer players. We've all watched soccer games. The ball is always getting passed and distributed around the field. And let's say player M in red is the best player on the pitch. So anytime he passes the ball or she passes the ball to any one of those players, that's going to be a higher grade score than, let's say, player G, who is the least skilled player on the pitch. If he's passing to player M repeatedly, passes or she passes times, but our best player only passes one time, it's going to be the same sort of effect. And that's why it's really important to form partnerships with very strong bloggers, get your company out in the news, partner with organizations like local shops and ShopYXH who have very strong credibility with search engines in order to get that best player passing the ball to you. And then now you're building up significantly higher credibility with search engine algorithms. This is also highlighted in this graph here. So these are kind of websites with less trust. They're backlinking a lot to page E. Similarly, page E is backlinking to page B. Page D also backlinking, page F also backlinking. So it's building up the credibility of website B quite strongly. But if website B simply backlinks to website C once, website C is going to show up in the same, same sort of popularity score as website B. So again, this just kind of reiterates you want to make sure that you're generating backlinks from very strong players in order to increase your visibility on search engines. I mentioned some of them to do, but for any sort of e-commerce business, service-based, product-based, really important to find bloggers and product sites that have strong credibility that can link back to your site. Also, even on social media. So Facebook is a very trusted platform, as is Instagram, as is Pinterest. You can insert your own backlinks on your profile page to your own website. And that's why it's important to be on as many social media platforms as possible, even if you can't physically maintain them as well, because at least you're backlinking to your own website and you're building your digital footprint online. And at some point in time, when you Google your own website, you should be able to find 3 pages of content on your site. Content from bloggers, content from social media, content from your own website, content from partnerships you've formed, content from trade shows and events you've attended. All of these trade show and event websites, they typically backlink on your site as well. The last point was search engine results page. So that's like page 1, 2, 3, and 4 that you would show up on. So these are the results that are returned after a user submits a query. So in addition to organic search results, these pages include both organic and paid ads, so pay per click, which you see on Google AdWords campaigns. And the difference between SEO and SERP is SEO, the brands don't pay for placement. That's all your organic traffic and your organic efforts to grow your visibility on search engines, where SERPs can also include paid advertising. So SEO is a variety of tactics that prompt engines to show their content near the top and show it because it's valuable and authoritative. And within SERP, Google is finding out how to show these sites based on indexing. So Google has this huge database of URLs that it has to put through its algorithm to rank, and that's known as its index. And they have an indexer which extracts information about the page, such as the words it contains. And that's these keywords you use are so important, where it's located. So, you want to make sure that you're having, information about your location, such as Medicine Hat or Calgary or Vancouver, because Google knows an IP address and they're going to give you more visibility, of course, if a searcher is searching within your own location. Wait for specific words, as well as all the links the page contains as well. So this info is placed into a scheduler for crawling at a later date. So they'll go and index your page. It's put into a schedule. And then when somebody does use a search term that may be attributable to your own website, the crawling tool is able to pull the results and put you on a specific page that you've been ranked on. So how does this all tie into local shops at the end of the day? Well, we are an online marketplace and we provide additional digital footprint to every single one of the brands that's on our page, regardless of if you make a sale or not. And that's why it's so important to be on platforms like local shops, like ShopYXH, like social media, because they're all adding to your digital footprint and trust within search engine algorithms, right? And what we provide is SEO, backlinking. We provide site traffic as well. We're redirecting to your own pages and we have significant trust with Google's algorithm already. And so when we backlink to your site, we're going to help increase your visibility on search queries by consumers within your own region as well. And so how our platform works, it seamlessly connects with Shopify, Wix, and WooCommerce. So it's very easy to onboard yourselves in a couple of minutes. And then what we're layering in this season as well is fulfillment to help merchants store their products within one of our warehouses, fulfill them, ship them, and then also with local delivery. So that's the startup. We're scaling. We are investor backed. You know, I'm sure a lot of you who have been on our website already have seen us go through multiple, changes and iterations over time, and that will also continue over time. I would say probably by December or January, December this year, January next year, we'll be in a very good position to really put our foot on the gas for merchants, both on the marketing front to support our already phenomenal SEO, but drive a lot of traffic to your stores. We went on a bit of a pause with marketing ourselves because we really wanted to perfect the user experience and the platform first, because we want to ensure that when consumers come to our website that they're having the best possible experience to be able to search and find local businesses and products in their area. So how do customers find us even? Well, we do have phenomenal SEO. We worked really hard on it. We had a ton of great press. We worked really hard to get those backlinks right off the bat. We built trust with Google's algorithm very early on. We chose a name, Local Shops, that is pretty relevant to what people would be searching for in Google as well. And that's why it's important to, choose names that are somewhat relatable to the products or services you have. But even if you do not, then you can still gain that visibility through the content you're creating and the product descriptions in your website. So don't worry if your name doesn't fully support kind of your business, service, or products. You'll still be able to generate that visibility through your content. We connect customers who then come to Local Shops through our own search engine. And the value to us is, our search engine is only supporting local businesses based on the location of that particular shopper. So this shopper isn't going to get paid advertising from outside businesses. They're not going to see another company who's got phenomenal SEO and resources to make sure that they're showing on the first page of Google. You're not going to have to compete with those types of big businesses and big budgets as well. It's really all based on organic, results. The content that you're putting into your product descriptions, your product title, and also the keywords you're searching. That's how we pull our results for our shoppers. The last thing I want to touch on is marketing funnels. So I kind of highlighted social media. So one, these are different ways to backlink to your website, but these are other ways to increase your digital footprint and create a funnel towards your own website, because so many people use email, they use social media, they search for blogs, they listen to podcasts, they read news. So these are ways to basically create content and engage other resources on the internet to funnel traffic to your own website. And that's why building up your customer database is so important, so that you can email them about new updates of your business or your products, funnel them to your website, share promotions. Social media, same thing, promote your products and brands, backlink to your website, start telling the story about you, the founder, and your business to create unique authenticity about what you're working on and connectivity to a consumer base. Using hashtags within social media, which are essentially keywords, so that potential shoppers or consumers or users of these platforms, when they look up one of these hashtags, they're going to be able to see your business within them. And then creating your own blog. I have my own blog on my website. I post content that is relevant to our target audience. So we have a onesie company, right? People want to be warm. They wear it when they're lounging. They wear it on the ski hill. So we do a lot of storytelling based on our target audience. What are some of the things they would be experiencing? Going to the mountains, camping, skiing, these sorts of things, because those blog articles can also show up in search results and then funnel traffic to your own website. So do one yourself, but also engage with bloggers out there, lifestyle bloggers, product bloggers, who are willing to share your products and services as well. News, a great one as well. So there's lots of good content out there on how to create, a strong press release or news release. I also have good templates. So if you wanted to email me, I'm happy to provide some of the ones I have done in the past. And then you can build up your database of journalists over time. What I do is anytime I see a good article that's relatable to my own business, whether it's online or a physical article, typically you can find the contact details of that journalist at the very bottom of the article. Usually we'll have their name and their email. So I always build up a database of journalists that I would like to reach out to in the future. So there are my details. Feel free to reach out to me anytime. And I'll have that put in the chat as well. But just quickly before I go, I wanted to share my own website. I'll just close out of this, as well as local shops, so you can get a summary of what I'm talking about. So this is my own website, unichillwear.com. We have our landing page. I'm talking about jumpsuits. I'm talking about cozy. I'm talking about onesie, because jumpsuit or onesie, these are different terms people may be using, right? I'm talking about quality. So these are the types of, pieces of verbiage that you want to layer into your website that you think a consumer may be typing in and searching. I've also backlinked to other websites that have featured me. All these websites have backlinked to me, and then I've backlinked back to them as well. In your shipping, terms of service, refund policy, this is where you can also include great content that's relevant to your brand. And then probably the biggest area for content is in your product description. So I have a lot of different products, and product description. I've talked about buffalo plaid, which is a specific type of design. I've put the word in classic, fit, campsite, RV, lazing, outdoors, warm, versatile. What else? Comfort. And then in the product description, this is a great place to just embed and go crazy with keywords as well. So that would be my suggestion. And then for me, I have my own size guide, but I always like to give a recommendation of sizing based on what the models are wearing as well, to help out with that. So this is where all the keywords. And then I'll just go here to my Shopify store, and we'll see in the product sections as well, where you can plug in all this detail. So these tags are just relevant for your Shopify store. They're not actually tags that the websites are pulling. But here, when you add any one of these images, it asks for alt text. It asks for the description as well. So as soon as you upload a new image, it will ask for type of information for SEO. So that's where you would plug it in. And then in your product description, obviously you have your relevant info, and then your search engine listing as well. So this is where you would edit the detail for SEO as well. So yes, I have my product name in here, but I want to make sure I include adult onesie. If it's just my product name, it's going to be more challenging for Google to assess what this actually is. And then, in here I have the description. It just takes it from, my product description up here, but you can also adjust this to make it a little more keyword like, to make sure you have as much detail plugged in as possible. And then the URL handle. So this onesie is pretty new, and I haven't even updated my URL handle, but I would want to add some additional detail in here. So I have the product name, so 7 Summits. I would want to put in men's, women's, adult onesie in here. So now I'm putting in keywords that anytime anybody searches, they can find this type of product, because people are most likely searching men's onesie, women's onesie, adult onesie. I could even go a little crazier and type in navy in here as well, because now we're talking about the color, and that's typically what somebody would be searching for also. So this one wasn't updated. I'm glad I came onto it, but that's what we want to do with these types of pages. And then I'll quickly flip over to Shops. So this is our platform as well that we're continuing working on. We should have all the new UI UX design updated and deployed over the next 2 to 3 weeks. When you connect your Shopify store, as I mentioned, it only minutes. So it actually imports all of your product listings in to local shops. So you only have to manage stuff from your Shopify backend. Now you can choose to delist and unlist products if you want. We pull all the product descriptions. We pull all the product tags as well. So all of the relevant detail that you would need in order to be visible within local shops. The only thing we ask you to do is to update your category, because that is not content we're able to pull from Shopify just yet. But I did start to notice Shopify recently to list some standard categories. So we should be able to pull this information as well, as long as you have it documented within your own website. So when you log into local shops for the first time, it will actually ask you if you want to connect a Shopify store, a Wix store, or a WooCommerce. So in order to get your products distributed, simply select that integration, and you will have your products pulled into our marketplace right away, and then you'll be able to manage everything from the back end. And now in terms of the backlinking, so here you've added in your social media, you've added in your website. So when somebody goes to your website, let me just pull it up here. There's a backlink on that page. So we can go to the 7 Summits, go to store. So this is a backlink from local shops to the page on your store. And that's why this is so important. Even if you never make a single sale on local shops, it's helping with trust with Google's algorithm. It's creating backlinks. It's creating more chances of, it's building your digital footprint. And as we continue to scale our business, you'll eventually start to make a lot of sales through our platform if you're not already. So yeah, appreciate everybody taking the time. My contact details are in the chat, so reach out with any questions you may have about my presentation on digital footprint or our startup local shops. And we look forward to supporting you on our platform and helping you create a really sustainable business for many, many years to come. So thank you.
Thank you, Ryan, for your presentation. And now we welcome Kelli Ireland and Jalyce Thompson to speak on ShopYXH.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much, Ryan, for your presentation. As always, you have so much, you're so smart in the world of making a digital footprint, and we just so appreciate working alongside you from the ShopYXH marketplace. And so with that, I am Kelli Ireland. I am a marketing specialist for Invest Medicine Hat, a department of the City of Medicine Hat, one of the creators of the ShopYXH marketplace, and also a small business owner. So ShopYXH was born right when COVID first hit, as were many new technologies were born during that very challenging time for local business. All the businesses, as soon as that happened, there were so many restrictions placed on them. It's been an absolute roller coaster for many small businesses across the world, specifically in this region, which is very close to my heart. And every business, so many of them had to temporarily close their doors, many permanently. They needed to continue to operate. And so the best way to do that was to turn to online. And typically, most businesses have a Facebook page, a Twitter page, an Instagram, and they all turn to it, but they all turn to it at one time. And so the platform itself became very busy, very messy. It was hard to get your message that you were still open, that you were doing maybe free delivery, how you were pivoting your business. It was hard to break through all of the other people that were saying that the same thing. Every business was trying to speak at once. And it became very confusing and messages were getting lost. And so it became very apparent to me, who was sort of sitting back and watching all of this happen online, that one platform was necessary for these businesses. One area we could all come together and try to share the fact that we were open, doing different types of promotions, and looking for ways to continue to service our community. And that's how ShopYXH was born. ShopYXH started as a simple Instagram page where I reached out to businesses and I said, tell me what you're doing. Tell me how you're managing these challenging times through COVID. Let's promote it. And I did that. I did that every single day. I'd feature a new business and I would try to share this message on one platform. So that way it became easy for the consumer to support local. Everybody wanted to support local. They were looking for ways, but if you didn't know how, or you didn't know what business was local and which ones weren't, it was hard to find those. And so ShopYXH was a platform that provided that service to local businesses, and it's free. It's free today, and it will always remain free to use for local businesses. When I started with Invest Medicine Hat, part of my job, actually most of my job, was how are we going to support businesses through COVID? What are we going to do to make sure that not only are people continuing to support local, but the businesses are thriving during this time of uncertainty and didn't have to close their doors? Now, that wasn't the reality for everybody, but we certainly took ShopYXH very serious, and it became a very important initiative for Invest Medicine Hat. For the Chamber of Commerce of Medicine Hat, we're very appreciative of their partnership. Community Futures was a major role in helping us secure a very large grant to take ShopYXH and partner with local shops. One thing I want to touch on quickly, and I'm just going to share my screen here. If I can figure this out, there we go. ShopYXH regional partnership is so important nowadays. Not only does it allow you to reach a higher audience by reaching out to other municipalities, but the fact that Medicine Hat partnered with Brooks and Tabor, we're the entire YXH region. And here's a map that shows you the entire YXH space and what it encompasses and all the different municipalities that it encompasses. It's so important because when we reached out to the government and said, hey, you know what, we think this is a really great project, we're looking to build an online marketplace, they were more willing to listen to us and invest in us, because we weren't just Medicine Hat saying that. We were Medicine Hat, Brooks, Bow Island, Foremost, all working together. And so we were able to secure a $250,000 grant that helped us partner, helped us hire staff, helped us partner with local shops, helped us with creating a really extensive marketing campaign that we could then send people to one website that allowed people to support their local business community. So that was very, very important for us to have that regional partnership. And so we're so thankful to all of our partners who continue to support us today. Local shops we were very excited to partner with Ryan and his team, and now it was early days for local shops as well. The best way to explain local shops and how ShopYXH fits into that for me is local shops kind of like the Facebook. And ShopYXH is a Facebook page within the larger scope of the whole website. So we have a space there that we can simply promote and push businesses within the YXH region. Meanwhile, local shops has a global audience that is constantly visiting their website. And if they were to type in, let's say, pottery, they're going to, because we're part of a greater website, the people searching, even if they're in New York, are going to see products in the YXH region, which is a really great way for our businesses to get noticed on a global scale on one site. And like Ryan said, helps your SEO, helps you break through some of those algorithms, help you become more authenticated through Google search. So just being present on our website gives you a lot of great benefits. I'm going to pop over to this next page here, where I talk to a little bit about some of the statistics about our webpage, some of the successes we've seen so far, which has been really great. When we initially launched ShopYXH, we saw over 120,000 impressions in the first week of launching, which was very large. That's double our population here in Medicine Hat alone. Today we have over 180 stores active on the marketplace, with over 13,000 products to search from. On our Instagram, it's growing every single day. We have our fabulous social media manager, Jalyce, who's going to speak next, who's done a fabulous job engaging with local businesses in the YXH region to promote any product, service, anything that's happening in the community that might interest the consumer. She's done a wonderful job of sharing that, and our Instagram account is growing every single day. So much that the hashtag ShopYXH has over 9,000 people tagging us. And so when somebody clicks in that hashtag, 9,000 times, that's more, just to put that in perspective, that's more than the hashtag Medicine Hat Alberta. People are noticing what's happening and they want to be a part of the conversation and making sure they're tagging themselves alongside the brand of ShopYXH. So our website continues to see probably 3,000 to 4,000 unique users every month, but our engagement online is massive. And so if we have an opportunity to work with you and support you, we're here to help. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Jalyce, who is going to talk a little bit about how ShopYXH can support your business.
Thank you, Kelly. Hi, everyone. So I'm Jalyce. I've been working with Invest Medicine Hat since June. So the great thing about ShopYXH is it is more than an online marketplace. We've built this very supportive community that was created to promote and support business owners so that they have that online advantage in a world that is growing towards e-commerce and online shopping. And so something we love to do is providing marketing support. And every day we feature several businesses through Instagram stories. We write stories about business owners and what inspired their business model. And these posts have large reach. We have hundreds of people that view our Instagram stories, and our two marketing channels, Facebook and Instagram, reached over 30,000 accounts in the month of October alone. We've collaborated and coordinated giveaways. So for example, during the Parade of Homes, which is an event in Medicine Hat, it's a citywide favorite event. We put together a gift basket that included over 25 ShopYXH businesses. And so hundreds and hundreds of people attend this event and would have toured that home where they saw the products and they entered to win. So those are just some really great marketing tools that we use. We have advertisements booked on billboards and buses currently around Medicine Hat. And we're always thinking about creative ways that we can further promote our YXH businesses with products and different marketing tools. Something else we do is create educational videos and tutorials and post them on our Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So as a business owner who is extremely busy, it can be very overwhelming to find time to research this information because, algorithms are always changing and updating. There's always questions about how to use hashtags properly, what brings the most engagement. So the team at ShopYXH posts these videos for convenience for the business owner and to help owners stay in the loop and up to date with ways that they can grow their following and build their business presence on social media. So different ways that we create content is we planned a spring campaign back in May where there were over 40 businesses involved. We partnered with a local photographer, and all of the content that we created was used for the buses and billboards that I had mentioned earlier. And we also have used them for social media ads as well. And something super exciting is that we are planning a winter campaign this month with over 20 businesses. So the great thing is that this content, it can be used by the business owners. It will be used on our platform. It'll be used all around the region. It'll create that familiarity within the YXH region where people will start to really want to be a part of that shopping local movement. And so something that's really great about the platform is ShopYXH is only for businesses in the YXH region, but anyone in the world can access the platform, which is what Kelli had mentioned of just having that global audience. Locally, we plan to create events when we're able to. So things like a ShopYXH Day where we can hold markets and have the ShopYXH businesses promote their products. There will just be so many opportunities to collaborate within our YXH region to really become a community that lifts each other up. And something else we're looking forward to is hosting networking events to encourage that collaboration and to encourage the growth of a supportive community, because nowadays it's all about collaboration over competition. So yeah, mostly this platform has just grown into something really beautiful where business owners can feel supported. We have some testimonials on the screen as well who joined ShopYXH in the early days. And yeah, as it's grown, it's just become this really supportive community. So yeah, thank you all. Thank you for having us. It was an honor to be a part of this. If you have any questions at all, definitely leave them in the Q&A chats. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Kelli and Jalyce, for speaking on ShopYXH. We have a few minutes left, so if you do have any questions for Jalyce and Kelli, please put them in the Q&A. We want to thank all of our speakers today who have talked about expanding your digital footprint, for getting online. So thank you to Ryan again and to Jalyce and to Kelli. We really appreciate you guys being part of our digital training series this month. If you have anything you want to speak to our speakers today, they will be at table 1 when we go back into the networking mode. So please feel free to meet them there, and they are happy to answer any additional questions, or if you want to stay around and chat with them, they are happy to talk to you about their platforms. Thank you everyone for attending today's session. Next week, we will be hosting session 3 for our digital training, our Going Digital workshop series. If you haven't already registered for our 3rd session, please visit our Eventbrite page at goingdigital.eventbrite.ca. We will stick around for a little while so people can move around and network. If you are unfamiliar with Remo, our controls are at the bottom of the panel as opposed to the top on some virtual platforms. Thank you everyone for joining us, and have an awesome day.